If you've ever had a puppy, you know that puppies love to bite, teeth, nip, whatever you want to call it. And as cute as it might look for your 8-week-old puppy to be biting everything in his sight, it won't be so cute when his teeth start growing and their little love bites start turning into actually painful things that could actually hurt you, especially if your pup does this to strangers. Thankfully, puppy biting is something that can be trained away with some consistency in combination with it just kind of naturally them growing out of it as well. So let's jump right into how you can do that. A super important tip before getting into training out puppy biting is to make sure that they are satisfied in their everyday needs. Are you giving them enough physical and mental exercise? Are you socializing them in different environments? Do they have enough toys and space to play? Do they get enough attention during the day? And most importantly, are they given enough time to nap and recover? Puppies need way more sleep than most people realize, so a big reason behind your dog's biting may just be cranky behavior from being a tired puppy. If these questions are already answered and you think those things are all fulfilled, let's move on to the actual training steps. So the first thing to do when your puppy does bite you is to say ouch or ow or whatever word you choose in a super high-pitched noise, kind of like a yelp. This is because when puppies of a litter bite one another during play and a puppy is hurt by another puppy's bite, they make a high-pitched yelp to signal to that puppy that hurt. Hypothetically, if your puppy were to grow up with a litter without any training, chances are the puppies and the mother will kind of teach each other not to bite, or at least not to bite so hard. But since your puppy most likely isn't with their litter or their mother, we have to mimic that noise and pitch. Once you make that high-pitched ouch noise, immediately get up and walk away from your puppy and completely ignore them, meaning no eye contact and no attention whatsoever. Ignore them for at least 30 seconds to 60 seconds, but preferably longer. And if they chase you around, jumping on you and stuff, continue to ignore them until they somewhat settle. Once they've done that and you're done ignoring, go back to giving your puppy attention until they bite again, and then repeat these steps. It's important to note that if your puppy is only 8 weeks or so, a little biting can be forgiven, and you don't have to do this every single time they give you a little nip, and you don't have to be so strict because your dog is probably still getting used to you, still getting used to their environment, and this is not a priority at that age. But if your dog is already approaching 3 months or older, then you should definitely be focusing on this. A side note here is that a lot of breeds, especially herding breeds like Mochi, will often nip at your ankles because of their instinct. They do this when they herd sheep, for example. So when they do this, just do the same thing with the ouch, etc. But instead of walking away from them, stop moving entirely and ignore them. This is because if you walk away after they nip your ankles, they will think that nipping was successful and hurting you, and it would just reinforce the behavior. And another thing you can do when engaging with your puppy is to redirect their desire to bite with a toy. A lot of times puppies are also biting because they're actually teething with the itchiness with their new teeth coming in. So when you're playing and your dog seems like he needs something to bite or he wants to bite you, get a toy and encourage your dog to take it by, moving it around in front of their face and basically placing it near their mouth. When they take the toy and chew on it, praise them a lot, play tug of war as a reward, show them that biting toys is great, biting humans not so much. Keep in mind that if your puppy is already approaching 7 or 8 months-ish and they're still biting you, even after all this training, you should definitely contact a dog trainer in your area to come assess your dog in person to make sure everything is all good, because usually by this age, puppies should grow out of it in combination with your training. Now that you know how to get nipping out of the way, check out the video linked here on the screen on the #1 mistake puppy owners make.